Professor. My name is Shiqian Wang and my metric number is 8207314. Let me start with a simple fact. According to the World Trade Organization, more than 60% of global trade today happens within regions. Not between these 10 countries, this shows that countries usually trade more with their neighbors. In fact, the WTO's World Trade Report explains that regional cooperation has become one of the key drivers of global trade and growth. But here's the problem. Many regions, especially in Asia and Africa, still lose hold of economic opportunities because cooperation is weak. This clearly tells us one thing. In today's world, no country can succeed on its own. So you might be wondering, why does the topic matter to us? Actually, it affects our daily lives more than we think. Regional cooperation influences the prices we pay, the jobs we can get, and how stable our economies are. International economics research, such as the work by Krugman and his co-authors, shows that when countries reduce trade barriers and work together, goods become cheaper, markets expand, and employment opportunities increase. On the other hand, when cooperation falls, prices rise and economic growth slows down. Today, I want to focus on regional cooperation and economic integration in ASEAN. I will talk about the main challenges, why they excite, and what can be done. First, let's look at economic equality. Southeast Asia is a region with very different levels of development. Countries like Singapore are highly developed, while others, such as Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar, are still catching up. Academic studies on regional integration show that when the benefits of integration are unevenly distributed, poor countries often feel left behind. Research by economists such as Bigfield highlights that inequality can weaken trust in regional cooperation and reduce support for integration. As a result, less developed countries may fear that opening their markets will hurt local industries. Instead of helping them over time, this makes regional cooperation harder to sustain. The second challenge is political differences. ASEAN includes countries with very different political systems and national priorities because ASEAN relies heavily on consensus-based decision-making and a non-influence principle. It often struggles to respond quickly to political crises. This was clearly seen during the Myanmar political crisis, where ASEAN found it difficult to take strong collective action. According to reports by international organizations, political disagreements and weak enforcement mechanisms reduce ASEAN's ability to act as a unified economic bloc. This limits the depth of integration and weakens regional trust. The third issue is weak institutions and infrastructure. Also, ASEAN has signed many trade agreements. Trade within the regions is still not as smooth as expected. The Asian Development Bank and UNESCO both point out that no traffic barriers, inconsistent regulations, and poor infrastructure continue to raise train costs in Southeast Asia. In addition, ASEAN countries still depend heavily on large external markets such as China and the United States, while inter-regional trade remains relatively low. This shows that integration exists on paper, but implementation is still incomplete. So what can be done? One key solution is to stress regional institutions and improve connectivity according to UNESCO. Better transport networks, ports, logistics systems, and digital infrastructure can significantly reduce transportation costs. Clear and more consistent train rules are also essential. The integrational matter found further suggests that stronger regional cooperation can help ASEAN build more resilient supply chains and reduce vulnerability to global shocks. More development ASEAN members should also support less developed ones through investment, training, and technology sharing. Regional cooperation should focus on growth together, not just competing. To conclude, regional cooperation and economic integration are not just abstract economic concepts that directly affect our lives. ASEAN faces real challenges including inequality, political differences, and weak institutions. However, research from organizations such as the WTO, IMF, and UNESCO clearly shows that well-designed regional cooperation can promote growth, stability, and shared prosperity. In a world that is more connected than ever, working together is not an option, it is a necessity. Thank you.